Hey guys, Triple T Cat here recording for the Zombie Arcade, and today I'm going to be playing some ArmA 3 and talking a little bit about what ArmA 3 is and why you should buy it. This is a live commentary I'm recording as I'm playing this, which is going to maybe make things a little bit difficult, so it takes a fair bit of focus, but I'm just playing through the single-player showcase things that are included in the alpha here, not playing some actual multiplayer right now, so it should be fairly straightforward. Anyway, ArmA 3 is a really dope video game that you should buy, I think was going to be the topic of this video. You may well have heard of the franchise before, the ArmA franchise. They're military simulators, although as far as games that you would refer to as sims go, they're very gamey. These aren't like super inaccessible games. You know, there's a lot of buttons, and there are some things about it that are very different from other shooters, but you can still pick this up more quickly than one might expect, and you might have been told before. And so if you don't know anything about the series or what it means that it's a military simulator rather than the shooter, basically this is a game that focuses very heavily on realism. So if you're one of those guys that, you know, likes, for example, the Battlefield games but thinks they should be more realistic, even though they're not meant to be simulators, this would be the game for you. This is a game that legitimately is a lot about realism, which a lot of people kind of like. To me, that's not even, like, that's not actually the reason that I really like this game, though. This game offers something that, well, the series offers something that no other franchise on the market can offer in terms of offering this really open sort of war sandbox. So in multiplayer, you generally have a large area of terrain available to cover. A lot of multiplayer missions will use the entire largest island in this game, which is about 270 square kilometers, which is a very big area. And you'll have infantry squads, you'll have vehicles, and sort of this all-out warfare sandbox kind of thing going on. That's something you don't get in any other game. I mean, it's a scale that you wouldn't even see in you know, Battlefield. Many times bigger scale in terms of the operations you're going to be pulling off. And that's really cool, and it also offers a level of immersion, I think, thanks to that focus on realism that other games don't offer. I'm just playing on the regular difficulty here, but on the higher difficulties, all this HUD stuff is naturally gone. But I mean, I don't find it particularly intrusive anyway, so I often just play on regular. But on the higher difficulties, all that head stuff is gone for hyper realism, and it's just a really cool game. So you may have heard of this franchise before, as I said, and ArmA 2 and the older games. I mean, I've been a franchise in the series since 2001 when Operation Flashpoint came out. Oh god! Bullets are hitting my body. I've been a fan of the game since 2001 when Operation Flashpoint, now renamed to ArmA Cold War Assault, because the whole deal with the Operation Flashpoint franchise, then getting sequels that were made by completely different people, and actually have nothing to do with the ArmA franchise. And this is by far the best the series has ever been in a lot of ways. Aside, oh god, my life's gonna end. This isn't. I think most of my buddies have died. I'm in a terrible spot. This isn't good. You. Can't even see the other guys firing. I don't have any first aid kits left. I'm pretty sure our medic is dead. I may actually be the last one left. I'm not really sure, but I don't think I'm long for this world. Son of a bitch, good thing they're only hitting me in my arms. One chest shot will kill you in this game. You know, if you get in the body or the head at all, you normally are immediately out of action with that realism and all, although my arms being shot to shit isn't exactly going to help my accuracy. So I've been a fan of the franchise. It has this reputation, though, as being very sort of slow plotting, very hard to get into. I will say that if that's been a concern for you, ArmA is the most accessible and the most polished the series has ever been. The game actually, like ArmA 2, ArmA 1, Operation Flashpoint, all feel kind of awkward to play, I'm not going to lie. Hey, thanks, buddy. All feel kind of awkward to play, I'm not going to lie. And that could be, you know, a high barrier of entry for a lot of people. And, you know, they're not very well polished, there are a lot of problems. This game, most of that stuff that would make the game really hard for a lot of people to take is no longer present. ArmA 3, especially considering it's currently still in alpha, runs great, looks good, fucking doesn't have the weird, awkward ghetto-ness of older games in the franchise, and it's just a really good experience. So this is by far, you know, the best game in the series. They just keep getting better, it seems. And so if you're a guy who is interested in the idea of a more realistic kind of war game, or a war game on a much larger scale than anything else you've probably ever played, I'd say definitely pick this one up. You can get it very, very cheaply right now. While it's in alpha, you can buy it on Steam, and you'll get access to the final game, and you can get it for very little real cash dollars indeed for, you know, such a big game. I think it's about $30 to buy, and you get access to the alpha and then the beta, which will be starting soon, is going to have more content than the alpha, and the full game when it comes out. And it's a great deal. So yeah, if you're interested in a more realistic war game or a bigger open military sandbox, check this one out. It's going to have a bunch of scenarios, a full single-player campaign that is going to be probably a lot more interesting, although not necessarily sort of better than anything you see in most military shooters. And the main feature is the multiplayer. I'm just playing a single-player little mission here where you're some infantry dudes attacking a village. But the main thing about this game that you'll get the most enjoyment out of, and I've gotten the most enjoyment out of over the years, is multiplayer. There's a massive amount of modability and customizability with this game, and people will make a lot of different missions for you to play, from co-op missions where you're fighting with and against AI, or there will be, you know, a lot of competitive missions as well. That's very popular in the alpha, actually, or just straight up, you know, locked down to a small portion of the map and dudes shooting it out, but with these sort of different mechanics that are a lot harder and a lot more interesting, in my opinion, than what you might find in a lot of other military shooters. And my favorite in past games was a mode called, by the way, third person is also only available at the lower difficulties if you're wondering. I know it doesn't seem very realistic that I can see around corners and over walls and stuff. That's only a low difficulty feature, but one that I personally find pretty fun, so I like to use. The main game type that I always liked in the past, and my entire squad is dead, which is quite bad, is a mode called Warfare, where you've got access to the entire island, and one player on each team takes the role of a commander who builds, has to like manage a base and build base buildings that allow the other people on the team to buy vehicles, buy AI soldiers to join their squad, that kind of thing. And basically your goal is to try and take over the entire island. Every town on the island can be captured. There's normally resistance troopers guarding it if nobody's captured it yet, so you show up, the enemy team's not there, but there will be AI soldiers defending it. You'll have to kick out. About fighting, I died horribly. I died real bad. I'm going to reload my checkpoint, wherever that was. Because I'm not done talking. And ultimately destroy the enemy base, and that's a really cool mode. It's seriously, it's a much larger scale than you would ever see in any other game. You know, you'll have, you know, maybe 10 players aside, but each player, and you can have more than that, but that'd be sort of a common size for the game. You'd often see larger games as well. But each player is commanding a squad of, you know, up to 12 guys, or they might be commanding a few tanks. So there's, you know, quite a lot going on, especially considering you also have the AI soldiers in the mix. And it gives you this feeling of being part of a large-scale war or battle that I don't think any other game, aside from maybe PlanetSide 2, that I've ever played is able to rival, and it's just a really cool experience. So, if you're interested, I'd say get in now and buy it while it's cheap. It definitely has my seal of approval. If you don't end up liking the game that much, if it's a little bit too hard for you, it's not, you know, maybe because they forgot to program the win button, I guess you're just a fucking noob. But also at the present time, you're not wasting enormous amounts of money. And the last thing is, I have 3 invites to Alpha Lite to give away to people. Those are basically, you can't play multiplayer, unfortunately. You can only play these little single-player showcases. There's 4 of them. There's this one, the infantry showcase. There's a scuba diving showcase where you play as a scuba diver. There's a helicopter showcase where you fly a helicopter, and a vehicle showcase where you drive a car around and blow stuff up with the car. You can play those in Alpha Lite, but there's sort of good things if you just want to, you know, just check out, see what the game is actually like, what it feels like to play, and get a bit better of an idea if you want to buy it. I'd recommend you just fucking buy this thing if you like, if it sounds at all interesting to you, because I think it's fucking dope. But anyway, I've got 3 of these Alpha Lite keys, and if you want one, all you have to do is join the Zombie Arcade Steam group. I will leave a link to it in the description of this video, and send me a message on Steam asking for an Alpha Lite key. and the first 3 people to do that will receive an Alpha Lite key. Those are going to stop working when the game enters beta, which is in a few weeks, but they'll give you a little bit of an idea for what the game is like. So if you're interested but you don't quite want to commit, join the Zombie Arcade Steam group, send me a message on Steam asking for a key, and if you're one of the first 3 people to ask for one, I will send you a key to the ArmA 3 Lite Alpha. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll be uploading more of this next time I play multiplayer. I normally play with my buddies, because it's the kind of game that you can play alone, but it's better with friends. Next time I play some of this online with my buddies, I'll record it, and I'll upload that so you guys can see what multiplayer is like. But I just really wanted to get out there while Alpha is still going, because the game's going to increase in price when beta starts, and just say, guys, buy this game. It's dope as fuck. It's pretty cheap. You get to play the Alpha and the Beta straight away, and then you'll get the full game when it comes out with all the contents. And I've now done that and made that video. So thanks for watching, guys. There'll be more ArmA 3 in your future, in my future, in our shared combined futures that we make when I make videos and you watch them. Until then, Trouble Key Cat in a terrible position for his life to continue.